Welcome back for another video. In today's video we'll be looking at the top 100 greatest ever FPL managers, including their team selections, player ownership, transfer plans and more. I also connected with one of the managers again, who's answered questions including when he plans to wildcard, which players are top of his watch list and the secret to his success. If you want to keep up with what the greatest ever FPL managers are up to this season, make sure you're subscribed. A quick thank you to the newest YouTube members Wuchi Woon, Great and Wagbu, Louis Martins and Timothy. If you'd like to support my channel too, links to both my Patreon and YouTube membership are in the description. Enjoy the video. With the many millions of FPL managers, just barely 100 meet the criteria to join our list. The criteria to join this list is a minimum of 4 top 1k finishes or a minimum of 7 top 10k finishes. They are undisputably the greatest managers to have ever played the game, with a record to prove it. Their decision making, planning and understanding of the game is exceptional. We call them the Elite 100. That said, there's actually slightly more than 100, but to keep it simple, we'll mostly use percentages when going through their teams and moves. Let's start off with the Elite 100's team selections. By aggregating all of their teams together, we can arrive at a consensus team, which is a full squad of 15 players that they agree on having the most. One reasonable conclusion you could draw is that the higher percentage a player has, the more you should consider owning them. The Elite 100 template team is as follows. Major changes to the team as 6 players have dropped out, but the formation remains a 3-5-2. Sanchez's ownership continues to creep up as Brighton have been impressive defensively and he represents great value for 4.5. Both Dino and Soufal have dropped out of the defence, and in comes the 2 Wolves defenders, Semedo and Marçal, who make the bench. Wolves don't face any of last season's top 5 all the way to Gameweek 14. Despite disappointing Gameweek 5, the clean sheets will come. Benrahma's ownership has dropped 20% in the Elite 100 team after blanking twice in a row and an early substitution in Gameweek 4. Rafinha's has gone the opposite way, up 17%, and he got an immediate goal for those that picked him up. A very strong transfer with Leeds' upcoming fixtures in mind too. Up top, Antonio and Calvert-Lewin leave the team, with both of them missing Gameweek 5. Bamford and Lukaku come in as their replacements. Greenwood's ownership has been on a steady decline, with the Elite 100 favouring other options such as Jota and Rafinha. Lastly, Raya from Brentford drops out as the bench goalkeeper and Sarr from Wolves comes in. Heading into Gameweek 5, here's their transfer activity. Later in the video we'll look at exactly which players were bought and sold, and in the interview with one of the Elite 100 managers he revealed which players he has an eye on. 35%, so just over a third of them, rolled the free transfer. With Antonio's ownership over 90% on the last Elite 100 video, this tells us that many of them decided to ride out Gameweek 5 without Antonio, and therefore felt happy enough to keep hold of him despite the blank and the price drops. There were a lot of hits this week, as 16% took a -4, and we have our first -12 of the season. Some of you may have noticed the poll I posted on my channel asking what the biggest hit was that you've ever taken. I'm always interested to hear what you're doing, and thanks to the more than 2,000 who voted. Commiserations to Models in Scale, whose worst was a -108 before he understood how hits work. -12 hits are extremely bold and you rarely see them, as a wildcard is often the better option at that point. But who are we to question the Elite 100? Before we take a look at their transfers, we caught up with Tom Stephenson, who in the Premier Fantasy Tools all-time leaderboard he ranks 3rd, and on Fantasy Football Scouts Hall of Fame he ranks 2nd. He has a phenomenal 13 consecutive top 36k finishes, which includes 6 top 10ks and 4 top 1k finishes. He's had a fantastic start to the season already, having entered the top 50k in Gameweek 1 and he hasn't dropped out since. Here's what he had to say. The first question was, what are your transfer plans for Gameweek 6? He said, nothing concrete yet. Bringing Sarr in is an option given how good he looked and with Newcastle and Leeds to come. It has to be said that Norwich seemed to be the team to target this season. The next question was, do you have a game week in mind for your wildcard? He said possibly Gameweek 7 or Gameweek 8. For some, a wildcard may not be necessary at this time, but I do have players to sort out. I also have a possible change in structure to consider, and I want to target Chelsea and Man City. The next question was, what's your secret to getting a top rank and staying there? He said, the start of the season is always difficult as we have to adapt to new players, tactics and teams. Once we get to the first wildcard, I try to build a balanced team and move some players around to target good fixture runs. The most important thing is to stay patient and stick to any plans. This helps to minimise hits. And the final question was, which players are top of your watch list? He said Chelsea players such as Lukaku, James, Rudiger and Mount. From Man City, either Cancelo or Diaz. From other teams, Sarr, Bamford and Gallagher are on my watch list. Some great insight from Tom. With a couple of issues creeping into his team, using the wildcard in Gameweek 7 or 8 doesn't just allow him to fix all of those team issues, but also to take advantage of upcoming fixture swings, which is a sort of move that clearly has the potential to propel him even higher despite an already strong start to the season. There's another international break between Gameweek 7 and 8, so it's a sensible time to consider activating your wildcard if you still have it. The fact that he said he'll use his wildcard to build a balanced team leads me to believe that he won't be shoehorning in 3 premiums such as Salah, Lukaku and Ronaldo. Instead, he'll perhaps get 2 and look for value to spread that money around accordingly. A quick look at the chip usage among the Elite 100 next. A lot of wildcards active, as 18% activated it for Gameweek 5. This could be in part due to Antonio and Calvert-Lewin missing Gameweek 5 and perhaps some other pressing matters. A couple of weeks ago we spoke with Dan Bennett from Elite 100, who also said that his plan was to try and get to Gameweek 8 with free transfers and wildcard over the international break if it's required. Your first wildcard lasts until Gameweek 20, after which point you lose it if you haven't used it. Or if you have already used it, then you get a second one. So it's a long way to go considering 43% of the Elite 100 have hit the button already after 5 game weeks. We'll almost certainly not see any free hit or triple captaincies for a while, until a blank or a double game week in all likelihood. However, a few of the Elite 100 surprised us by using the bench boost in Game Week 1, so we'll have to see what unfolds throughout this series and what we can learn from it. Onto the Elite 100's transfers. By far the most popular move was Calvert-Lewin to Bamford. A very logical move as Leeds have a great fixture run, and Bamford's been quite lively with an expected goal involvement of 2.5 so far, which puts him 4th among all strikers. The other popular move was of course Antonio to Bamford instead. There's a few moves here which are very clearly part of a double transfer. Tony and Calvert-Lewin up to Ronaldo was undoubtedly funded by those Fernandes downgrades to Rafinha and Jota. The Tony owners will be disappointed after his 12-pointer against Wolves, but again it was a logical move and that's the way it goes sometimes. Great to see that the Elite 100 are human after all and do make mistakes though. 8 managers dropped Shaw for Williams, which was an interesting one. And 7 managers moved Tsimikas on for Semedo for the enticing run of games Wolves have ahead. In a new segment, we'll be keeping tabs on their season performance. We'll categorise them into 4 areas: top 10k, top 100k, top 1 mil and outside top 1 mil. The breakdown is as follows. 2.4% of the managers have already broken into the top 10k, with the highest rank being 4.9k. A fifth of the Elite 100 are in the top 100k, and 67.9% within the top 1 mil. 10% find themselves outside the top 1 mil. As Tom said in his interview, the start of the season has a lot of variables. It's always a volatile time of the season in the ranks. The expectation as this series progresses is that we should see managers shift up the ranks. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. That concludes this video on the Elite 100. We'll be following them closely throughout the season, and thank you again to Tom Stephenson for taking the time to answer the questions. Likewise, thank you for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to like the video and hit subscribe to support the channel. I read every comment, so let me know if you liked this video and what you thought of the Elite 100's teams.